All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a practice nomenclature question from Fall 21, Test 1, Part 3. Part 3 is always nomenclature. We have a big ring in the first one. You have to make a decision, carbon 1 that has these groups or carbon 1 that has these groups. But I'd like to remind you, if you start here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 2 groups on 1 and 2 groups on 5. If you start here, you get 2 groups on 1 and 2 groups on 5. I care not which way you go. This rule, I do not enforce which way is the better, 1 and 5. We have a question.
So I seen like studying over the weekend, some of them like repair, for example, the ethane over the methane just cause the letter E.
No. Alphabetization is how you list the groups in front. That's all that will ever be said about alphabetization. Alphabetization has no relevance in choosing numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None. So when you get 2 groups on 1 and 2 groups on 5 that way, or this way, to me, those are equivalent ways and they're both okay. All right. I'll just choose the blue way. Or maybe, yeah, why not? Or I'll choose the red way. I don't know. Did you know this molecule only has 2 types of groups? Can you name one of the groups for me?
1-difluoromethyl.
No, the group on 1 is a fluoromethyl. I do not see 2 fluorines on the group.
There's another one.
That's 2 groups called what? I only wanted the name. There are 2 identical, there's actually 3 identical groups called what you're about to tell me. I need the name. If you write CH2F on a nomenclature question, you lose a half point. It's, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the group ends with the part attached to the ring. It's a 1-carbon group attached to the ring. What's the only name for a 1-carbon group you know? Methyl. Now, in front of the word methyl, you tell me what's attached to the methyl. Fluoro. The group is called a fluoromethyl. Fluoromethyl. There's, in the red system, there's 1 of them on 1. There's another one on 5. And yes, it's drawn a different way, but there's 2 of them on 5. How do you say there's 3 of the same group? Tri. Please don't write CF3 when you see that. Don't write CF3. When there are 3 numbers followed by tri, that means 3 identical groups. And whatever is after the tri is the name of the group. Yes, we've seen groups called trifluoromethyl, but they would have 1 number in front if it was a trifluoromethyl group. Are we clear? It would say, like on carbon, like for example, I'll just do it temporarily. And that's a 3. It's not part of your question. I'm going to erase it. But in this question, carbon 6, 7, 8 has a trifluoromethyl. It's going to disappear. It wasn't part of your question. How do you know it's not 3 identical groups? Please tell me. 8 trifluoromethyl is not 3 identical groups. How do you know? If it was 3 identical groups, there would be 3 numbers in front. It is not that situation. Now, how do you know this is 3 identical groups? There's 3 numbers in front, and the name of the group is fluoromethyl. Okay. And what's the other group called here? It's got a V on the end. I know you don't see it, but I see it. Because in my mind, I got rid of this, and I put the other CH3 down there, and it's an isobutyl. What's first, I or F? FGHI, that's right. So on carbon number 1, there's also an isobutyl. And how do you say the ring size is? I'm just going to count around the ring. 6, 7, I should be doing the red. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How do you say a 14 carbon ring? Cyclo who? Thank you. Cyclotetradecane. This is all one word, by the way. I just didn't have, my box wasn't big enough. Congratulations, you got 1.25 out of 2. What? That's terrible. It is. You want to do better, right? So on test day, I strongly suggest, you know, you're doing this question. I put a little note to myself here, like a little, I don't know, symbol, to remind me to come back to this question. But right now, because I don't have time, I'm just throwing an R there. I just threw an R there. Oh, alphabetically, I is after F, F-G-H-I. I threw an R there. I didn't think about it. I just did it. I just put a letter there. Which of those two red numbers is the stereo center? 1. And there's only one stereo center. There's not a stereo center here. How do I know? They're both the same group. Need 4 different groups. Okay, so on the test, this is a suggestion. This is a strategy. This has nothing to do with chemistry. If you see a stereo center, just make a guess on it and come back to it with a little symbol. Because that way, you got a 50% chance on the guess. And you run out of time, you realize, oh, I didn't have time to go back. But now you've done it. You've made your guess and you've moved on. But if you have time, now you go back and you do the proper 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a double switch if you have to. Or do the tricks we would learn. And we're going to do those now. But I'm pretending I'm done. Okay? Now I'm pretending I finished the test. But I have a little more time left and I'm coming back. Ready? So you got a stereo center on red number 1. We need 4 numbers. Why is this number 1? Don't tell me because it's a C. There's 4 C's on the stereo center. That C has the heaviest atom attached, called F. All the other C's, none of them has an F. Do you agree? So that's 1. And 2 is the C that goes to a branched C on the very next carbon. Because the branched C that's 2 carbons away from the stereo center is being compared to, here's a carbon 2 from the stereo center, no branch. Here's a carbon 2 from the stereo center, no branch. So an H is being compared to the second C on the branch. So that's my 2. Now, why do I like this for the 4 and this for the 3? Talk to me. Yeah, the 3 hits a branch on the 5th carbon. The 4 never hits a branch until many moons after that. That's silly words, but a lot of carbons extra to get to a branch. This is a case where you must do what to determine the stereo center unless you want to just take a chance. The number 4 group is not on a wedge or a dash. You must do a double switch if you want to guarantee the right answer. Find the 4 and put it on the dash. I guess step 1 was really copy the stereo center. Find the 4, put it on the dash. What was on the dash before? What number? 2 has to go where the 4 used to be. That's called a single switch. Finish it off. Do the second switch. You'll be back to the original. It's a trick. There's no science to this at all. It's a trick that works 100% of the time. And all we're doing is naming something. So you just have to know the name. That is now a clockwise connection between 1, 2, and 3. What do you call it? I guessed right. You happy face. You got 3/4 of a point and wasted no time. The other option was you get 0 points. You get a 50% chance. I just got lucky. All right. And you're saying, some of you are saying, I know, I just learned I can skip this double switch because I connected 1, 2, and 3 and it was already R. Yeah, you had a 50% chance that would have been true. I can do examples where the original, you get the connection and it's wrong. Okay? I'm telling you, the only way to do RNS properly on a stereo center where the 4 is not on a wedge or a dash is the double switch. Everything else is a guess, which is 50-50. Okay? If you're fine with that, do it. But we want the right answers too. Okay? All right, so we got 2 out of 2. So that's worth 0.75. And I guess the 1.25 is for the red and for the blue. And well, there's already green on there. And black. There you go. I think you're trying, all I'm trying to say is a stereo center is worth 3/4 of a point every time. And my next one has 2 stereo centers. Okay. I believe the numbering sequence can be either direction in this one because both bridge heads have a number. You can go 1 there or 1 there. You're going to get the same results group-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Red 11 and blue 11. And I'll stick with my red scheme. 2 has to be here, 10 has to be here. Now, in the red scheme, where would 12 have to be? In the red numbering system, where would 12 have to be? The dash, because it is in a bigger ring. 13, 14, 15, 16, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18. End of the name is Bicyclo 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Does that add up to 16? Yeah. 14 plus 2, 16 plus 2 is 18. How do you say 18? Not with an H. How do you say 18? Octadecane. Yeah. My T doesn't look so good, does it? Looks worse, but I'll keep it. How do you know this is a church group over here? Highlighted for your viewing pleasure is called a chicken foot. If it's got the chicken foot in it, with only one exception, is this is always true. If it's got a chicken foot in it, it's a tert. What's the only exception? The neopentyl has the CH2, then this highlight, right? But that's not a CH2 before the chicken foot there. So this is just a tert. That's 4 carbons highlighted, 5, 6. So what what group is? I said the answer. Tert hexyl. In the red numbering system, what number is it on? 1. Goes by H. I'm going to move it over a little, if it lets me. Because I noticed the other group is a cyclo group, right? And you said it was on 1. I didn't write one. I thought I had 1 written. Seriously, I thought I wrote it. Okay. 11 is a cyclo who? Careful. Yeah, cyclobutyl group. And right now you have 2.5 out of 4. 2.5 out of 4 for the green, the red, and the blue. Try to do my stereo centers in new colors. There's 2 of them. Stereo center on 1. Oh man, both stereo centers, nothing but C's, right? But I bet you can guess which one gets priority 1. We'll do it in baby blue. On stereo center red 1, why is this number 1? The heaviest thing on this is a C, and then the next heaviest thing is a second C, and the heaviest third C. These guys only have one C to tie the first C. The rest are H's to lose. Now, why is this the 2? Well, do you agree there's 3 CH2s attached for these last that are tied? And this CH2 goes to another CH2 that goes to a branch C. This CH2 goes to a CH2 that goes to a C with one bond to C. That's not going to beat a branch C. CH2 once, twice goes to a C with only one bond to C. That's not going to beat a branch C the same distance away. And you guys getting practice on this. Which one do you like for the 4 and which one do you like for the 3? 4 in back, well, that would be nice, but it's not true. Why is that the 3 and this the 4? Same logic, everybody. You're tied. How many CH2s are you tied for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're comparing the 6th carbon here to the 6th carbon away there. And this has one more bond to C, which ties one of those 3 bonds to C. Now you got H's here to compare to the other 2 C's. Loser down here, winner up here. That's why the 2 went there, and the 4, sorry, the 2 there, the 3 went there. Sorry, you were 6 away that way and 6 away this way. 3 there, 4 there. Once again, you're forced to do a double switch. It looks like I was very determined to make my students do a double switch that semester. And find the 4 and switch it with the dash. In this case, it would be the 3. And coincidentally, counterclockwise in both. But once again, that's a coincidence. The only one that counts is that one. Don't you connect this one. You're wasting your time to even bother. Just go ahead and guess. Don't connect 1, 2, and 3 unless the 4 is on a dash. Just make a guess instead. You're wasting time. You're not following the procedures anyway. Okay, so might as well make a guess if you're going to not follow the procedures. Okay, so that stereo center red 1 is S, and we're going to do it in blue. No, we already got blue. Baby blue. You have to tell me that now you're talking about the stereo center on 1 with a letter, R or S. When there's multiple stereo centers, you must precede the stereo center with what carbon number you're talking about. Start over, carbon 11 in purple. Why is this the number 1 this time? It's got 2 bonds to C. You can't say that about any of the other C's. Same story for 2, which hits a branch on the 3rd carbon away, and you can't say that about the 3rd carbon away for this carbon or this carbon. There's no branch. And we hit a branch sooner up here. Man, I am being so double switch friendly or intensive. Here 4, switching the 3 again. Oh, I didn't do any switch there. And 2. 1. Finally. Finally. Why did I say finally? Well, the correct answers are, if you'd connect 1, 2, and 3 previously, it would have been S and wrong. You connect 1, 2, and 3 here, it's wrong. You didn't follow the procedures. You had a 50% chance. It didn't work out this time. Do the double switch. You know this is right. R is right. And it's stereo center on red 11. 11 is R. R. And baby blue is S. And now you got 1.5 out of 1.5 up there. Those two, 1.5 out of 1.5. There's your 4 points. Okay.